是乐馆南海中华文化协会的理事，欢迎大家今天来参加林教授、林新博士主讲的这个Practice of Science-Based 马王功，练有科学基础的马王堆气功。林教授呢是 UCI 的教授，是 Professor of Cell Biology, Integrative Medicine. He's also founding director Laboratory for Mind-Body Stimulating Energy Research and member of Susan Samuel Integrative Health Institute, UCI. And he was formerly National Advisory Council on Integrative Medicine and Health, Public Advisory Group on Non-Pharmacological Management of Pain and Stress in Military, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. 我们这个是一系列的讲座，那后面还会有其他的讲座，完全都是以科学基础来研究中华文化这方面的精髓。我们现在就欢迎Dr. Lin。
Thank you, Jeffrey. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Morning. So we are grateful for South Coast Chinese Cultural Association and the Samuel Integrative Health Institute at UCI for sponsoring this event. And also thanks to Mount J, Southern California Science and Technology Association, and the Legacy Fountain Angel for providing the support to have this facility for you. This is the second session of the series on science-based Qigong for mind and body health. Just so that I know who's here, how many of you did not come to session number 1? Please raise your hand. Did not. Okay, thank you. How many of you are here from Laguna Woods because I gave the talk a week ago? All right, okay. How many of you got notified about this event from the Chinese, Irvine Chinese School side of things? All right. And those of you who heard about this from the UCI, Samuel Institute side of things? Okay. All right, thank you. So, just to orient you a little bit, session number 1 was an introductory session. I gave a 1-hour lecture, as most of you know, on the science behind the practice of Qigong and the benefits, you know, how physiologically speaking, how they came about. And I gave you all half a dozen exercises to illustrate those principles that I talked about. Today is the start of a completely new format. Today is not about lecture. I will spend most of the time today teaching you how to do Qigong, okay? But seeing how quite a few of you were not here last time, I will just give you a very brief, you know, review of what we talked about last time. So bear with me if you've already heard this. Maybe it's a good review, and the other people we'll just have to, like, you know, catch on rather quickly. So this is session number 2. Of course, today is April 23rd. Session number 3 is May 14th. Okay, and that would be on Sixth Harmony Qigong, 六合 Qigong. And then session number 4 in the fall, September, will be 天柱 Qigong. And number 5 is Tai Chi Bang. And we also will have future sessions on 5 animals, frolicking, 琴戏, 8 sections of brocade, 八段锦, tendon changing classic, 易筋经. We'll schedule those later. But all of these sessions are heavy on the practice side rather than the lecture side. So each time I'll talk about maybe 15 minutes, and then we'll just all, get up and learn how to do these things. So somewhat different from the first session where I spend the whole hour giving a lecture. So very quickly, a quick review of the most essential points that I talked about last month. First of all, what is Qigong? Qigong is characterized by integration of the three regulations, 三条合一. If you just do exercises, that will be regulating your body, 调身. If you just sit there and meditate, that would be like regulating the mind, 调心. Or if you just do breathing exercises, that's regulating the breath, 调息. But Qigong is a very broad term, as I'll show in the next slide, on how we integrate regulation of mind, body, and breath all at the same time. So that's what makes this special. Very quickly, Qigong, as I said, is an umbrella term, encompassing many, many different types of mind-body practices that originated from China. Many of you know Tai Chi, okay? Tai Chi started as a type of martial art, and it started the Chen family village, the Chen style Tai Chi, and it branched out to the Yang style, the Sun style, Wu style, and so forth. This series is not so much about Tai Chi, it's about this other branch of Qigong. This other branch of Qigong, the three most famous ones are Five Animals Frolic, 五禽戏, 8 Section Silk Brocade, 八段锦, 易筋经, Tendon Changing Classic, and the ones that I'll be teaching the next 3 sessions, Ma Wang Dui Qigong, Sky Pillar, Tian Zhu Qigong, and many other styles. The difference between these Qigong exercises and Tai Chi Chuan is Tai Chi Chuan came from martial arts, and each movement has self-defense applications, while Qigong does, as a group, do not have these applications in terms of martial arts. So very quickly, the benefits of regulating the mind. This is the latest study published in 2016. And the study is on using brain imaging techniques to see how practicing Tai Chi and Ba Guan Jin, 8 Section Silk Brocade Qigong, how would that affect the mind and the brain? And the conclusion is that the group that practiced Tai Chi and Ba Guan Jin show better connections between hippocampus. Hippocampus is the center of the brain for long-term memory. And better connection between the hippocampus and the prefrontal cortex. This is the part of the brain that deals with short-term memory. So people who practice Tai Chi and Qigong have better connections between these two. And the result is that you can remember things from your high school days, and you can also find your keys and your wallet. That's good. But in real life and in these tests, this will result in better cognitive function, executive function, and memory tests. These things are different tests that cognitive scientists could see how well you do. So, in other words, practicing Tai Chi and Qigong could really improve not just simple memory, but how you can operate in cognitive functions and executive functions and so forth. The benefit of regulating your breath. This is research done in our laboratory. It's quite well known that if you're stressed out, people will say, "Oh, take a deep breath." Okay, So how do you show this? And how long does it take if you take a deep breath? How would that calm you down? So in our laboratory, we put people under stress by making them play video games that are really stressful or watch horror movies on YouTube. 很紧张的电影哦，电子游戏 put you under stress. And you can see once the people started playing these games and watching these movies, their heart rate, 心率 jump way up here. Okay? Then we say, okay, continue to watch the movie, continue to play the game, but now breathe slowly and deeply. And you see the heart rate would drop almost right away. Blood pressure, same thing. Before playing the game, starting to play the game, and then deep breathing while still playing the game, the blood pressure would come down. So you can see the effect is very, very quick. A new paper that came out in 2017 showed the basis for this. What was found by brain imaging studies is that, here's the brain, diagrammatically speaking, and this is the part of the brain called the brain stem, and within the brain stem is another smaller part of the brain called the breathing pacemaker. This is part of the brain that controls breathing patterns. What they found in 2017, published in the Frontline Journal of Science, is that different types of breathing involves different part of this breathing center. If a person is really stressed out and goes something like that type of breathing is controlled by this part of the breathing center. If the person is stressed out and says, wana, oh my God, okay, it's controlled by a different part of the brain. But if you go into a deep, slow breathing pattern, then it's regulated by this third part of the brain. What's so special is this part of the brain has nerve connections directly connected to the so-called locus coeruleus, the part of the brain that deals with suppressing stress. So when the brain senses stress, this part of the brain will try to suppress that. And if you breathe slowly and deeply, this will send signals to activate this part of the brain to suppress the stress. So, okay, so now we know, okay? If you're all stressed out, if you just go, well, that is not going to help. Okay, if you're all stressed out, you say, wana, that's not going to help. But if you do deep, slow breathing, then, as shown in our laboratory, you will very quickly lower your heart rate, lower your blood pressure, and we have other measurements that show that you will reduce your sympathetic nervous system, 交感神经不会兴奋. Okay, so we now understand a lot about controlling your breathing. Controlling your breathing could also improve your blood flow. You see, we use laser Doppler to measure blood flow. Okay, in this case, like in the palm of the hand. And this is Grandmaster Chen Zhenglei from Chen Family Village. He's the top guy in Tai Chi nowadays. So at rest, blood flow on the hand is 100%, okay, not moving, okay. If you simply just do deep breathing and not move, blood flow on the hand could improve a whole 50% just by deep breathing. If you just do an exercise like, Tai Chi Chan Si Yun Dong, right? Just do this, self breathing exercise. Because of the exercise, it will, increase breathing, blood flow by almost 100%. But if you coordinate, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. You see, these effects are additive. You get a whopping increase in blood flow. And 对照组, the control is if you deliberately do it wrong, okay, or you didn't listen to a teacher, and you go, instead of breathe in, you breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, then the effect is much less. So as we jokingly say, this is like eating pizza, if the pizza is good, it's really, really good. But the pizza is not good, it's still pretty good, okay? So, but it shows the importance of integrating the breathing in the correct way with the body movement. And finally, regulating the body, okay, the latest research on this. Muscles, okay. It's not how many calories you burn in terms of doing Tai Chi and Qigong for controlling your weight. In Sweden, they show that when a person started to exercise, in this case riding a bicycle, okay, many different hormones will go up. But the one that shot up, okay, right away is called interleukin 6. What's so special about interleukin 6 is it's secreted by the muscle that's contracting, and it gets in the bloodstream, and it goes to different parts of the body to burn, to break down the fat in different parts of the body. Okay? And what's the proof? The proof is this. This is a normal mouse that got to exercise. This is a special mouse where they eliminated the gene that directs the production of interleukin 6. So this mouse can exercise a lot, but cannot make interleukin 6. And look at this mouse, fat, okay? Because it could not make interleukin 6. And when they injected interleukin 6 into this mouse, it went back to this shape. So it's very important that you exercise your muscles, not just to make the muscles more healthy, but to induce, interleukin 6 production, so that you can, reduce fat, here, and so forth. Next, connective tissues. We will do a lot of stretching today, okay? And stretching makes you feel good and relaxing. But now we know there's a physiological mechanism that stretching could reduce pain and inflammation, or prevent pain and inflammation in different parts of the body. And this was shown in a study done at Harvard, where they took normal mice and they injected a chemical irritant into the lower back. And so the mouse is suffering from low back pain, like some of us. Then they made the mouse do stretching exercises. Qigong? No. Okay. No. You see the technician grabs hold of the tail, and the mouse is trying to escape. And is grabbing onto the tabletop and trying to escape, but the tail is being pulled. So the mouse is doing stretching exercise, okay? And when the mouse does this exercise, the pain goes away and the inflammation goes away. They also show that the lower back pain cannot be eliminated by stretching other parts of the body. You have to stretch the part that's hurting. So today I'm going to teach you different exercises that will stretch all parts of the body. So no matter what the problem, it will be beneficial to you as a set of exercises. And we actually know quite a bit about the science behind that. When the person is stretching, you stretch the extracellular matrix, and you stretch the cells that are connected to the matrix. The cell starts to secrete, messenger molecules, and the messenger molecules, the hormones, will bind to receptors that will result in relief of pain and inflammation. These are called A1 receptors and so forth. So we now understand the whole mechanism why stretching will reduce pain and inflammation. Finally, how exercise will affect the brain. In the study done at Princeton, they put electrodes into the part of the cat's brain that is full of serotonin brain cells. And they record from the serotonin brain cells. What they found was that normally the brain cells are so-called firing, they go ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, and when a cat starts to do like a Qigong-like grooming, okay, and once the cat starts to do this, serotonin neurons go crazy, 40-fold increase in activity. That explains why cats like to do this and do this and do this 15, 20 minutes. They're not looking at the mirror. They just want to do this because they feel good. They're not doing it to look good, okay? And of course, people do all sorts of things that, like bouncing their knees or tapping with the pencil or pen. That sort of stuff will actually generate serotonin. So today we're going to do a lot of exercises that are repetitive. Not just do it once, do it 20 times. And that would be like, activate the serotonin neurons. So finally, for this review session, controlling the mind, okay. This is a famous experiment a study done at the Cleveland Clinic. So they divided the test subjects into 3 groups. This group